Trying to see, is the echo? Is there still an echo here? Yeah, no, maybe. Let me know if there's an echo. Is there an echo? Is there an echo here? You still hear echo or? Oh.
All
All right.
right.
You still hear echo?
No, looks like we fixed it. What the reboot helped.
Okay, good. So I was saying, if there's a fan, drowning out my voice because it's kind of humid in here due to this. I don't know if there's no due to this room doesn't have any airflow, so I have to turn on a fan and roll up a window. But yeah. So I was asking like, how you been this week? What you been up to these past, since our first live.
I know so much is going on. So Zero to Hero podcast is really, in the Discord for that's turning into something really awesome. They also, I don't know if you saw it. I think you came into it. The Henshire Council and the Council of Rangers opened up their Discord just in time for Dino Fury. And I've
Yeah,
been
I think I got an invite. I came in there. Yeah, I'm in there. I remember put a comment. I was like, "Oh, I'm on episode 10 already." Yeah, but I tried to get through it before my kids got up for school, but I had kind of fell asleep because I had a allergic reaction to something, and I had to take a Benadryl.
what?
I didn't know it was gonna put me to sleep that fast, so I just got up once they went to school and started over, and like I said, I was surprised. Like they was like already like pushing more story than filler right out the bat. You know,
Yeah.
especially with
Uh,
uh, especially with Void Knight. Even though they didn't feel where he originally is from, but looks like him and his wife, Centaur. I think I said her name right. It looked
yeah.
like there was part of a military or something.
Well, he's definitely got like uh the medals on the chest and like a
Hmm.
sash. And
Yeah,
like she voiced like because I made it up to season episode 10, because things are just so busy. I had a new training class at work this week. We're about to do a like people swap around. So basically, because we're making room for another supervisor,
yeah.
so like that was super crazy. Um, and I thought it was, but I made time. I got to watch some of it last night, and I got up to so I watched like 5 episodes last night. Like, and I agree with you, man. The storyline was hicking. What's good, sir?
You want to come in, uh, Red Creek? Do you want to come in, or you good right now? I'll just send an invite just in case you want to come in.
But I
So
thought it was really good because they, like you said, there wasn't a lot of filler. We kept the storyline pumping, and it was interesting to see some of the back and forth and the parallels from the actual, because his counterpart is Nida, and it's like Neda, and his story is very different from, but that's been the whole purpose, right? Like I'm trying to watch them in parallel because I just like seeing the differences, for that particular Sentai version, the Ryu Ranger, or the what is it? It's the I have my notes. Resoldier, basically.
Yeah, yeah. But one thing I can take away from it is that even it didn't bother me as much, but it was like he did the whole so quick because the episode. I don't know if you remember the episode title called "Turning a New Leaf." I was like, "Yep, I already know what this is gonna be about." Boy Night, I didn't know he was gonna, turn around that fast.
We got a lot of Boy Night.
Yeah. Like
we did get.
I actually like that.
I did. I would see that's secret. That's where I was too, man. I was because I liked him as a character, right? And I thought it was pretty good that we got more background stories. I feel like the first 6 episodes were just completely based around him and his thought process of why he's doing what he did. And like I said, I've always had it's one of those in my thought process. I look back at it, I'm like, well, that was everybody has a villain. There's a villain in everybody's story, but he's just trying to get his wife back, man.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, what I was saying was it was cool like how he just oh my God, what have I done? Go, it's like certain guys, well, mainly guys, what I've seen in certain fiction, like how much lengths they will go to save their loved ones, as far as hurting people, killing people, putting a planet in jeopardy, etc. And that part where Zato was arguing with Boy Knight, I kind of thought that was kind of hypocritical, in my opinion, because and someone said in the comments, I was like, you getting on Boy Knight for something that you caused to, because you remember they're the ones that created the sports, if y'all remember.
Yeah, they're the reason that this whole thing started. The Dino Fury Knights, and then he just basically was like, "Hey, this is," and I'm very interested to see, and I don't know if we'll get an answer to it because she seems like she's the way that they allude and they have a conversation when they act it's 2 episodes after they revive her, right? And she's sitting on the bed and she's like, "Don't you remember what they took from me or took from us?" And he was like, "I do, but I just want to get out of here with you because I was at least able to save you," And I feel like what was taken was a child. I feel like I got that vibe that, whatever happened, they either lost their entire civilization or it was more personal. But she is just like, nope, kill them all, man.
Ruthless. She's ruthless.
I just
right?
To think about that, someone said in my comment about in one of my videos, they said what if Boy Knight and Centaura are Amelia's parents, and I was like, how can that be possible? They said Pop Pop were to reveal to it, but Pop Pop said that he used to work for Area 62. If y'all remember.
I do.
Yeah. Well,
that could be a good twist. That would be dope to see if Zato would be, if that would work.
Yeah. And I wonder what's going on with Ravcon. Is Ravcon gone, or did it pull a Krypton on us or something?
I think they're probably gone and they moved to another planet or some Lost Galaxies type shit.
No. Shit. Hopefully.
Well, I kind of support that theory a little bit. Why would they leave a beacon with just for those two, the 2 missing knights, right? So that the only reason you would do something like that is that if you basically, I can't remember there was an alternate planet for Krypton, right? There was a planet that was smaller than Krypton, basically like a colony planet, and it had a different set of, they weren't Kryptonians, but they were kind of like if we took over Mars, right? They were once upon a time Earthlings, but now they're Martians, right? So I feel like that may be where the story leads, where they take it. That planet blew up like the Krypton theory, but then some of them were able to escape, like the high-ranking members, which is why they left a message. specifically for the two knights because they would need somebody to help defend the colonies because the morphers are, obviously Zato has all the morphers, so
Yeah.
there's no real backup at that point.
Yeah, I think like the cosmic gate key will come like more into play on the last half of the season because that's a pretty unique story device, the cosmic gate key. But I would rather,
What?
like they would have to go Megazord every time to even use the gate.
What I'm kind of interested to see is that what are they building towards with the cosmic gate key? Because as you guys have seen on TikTok, the debate is about the lore and the canon of the comic books, right?
Uh-huh.
And and then I can't remember which episodes, like episode like the bike where Zato makes the bike, for Ion after they destroy after he stupidly destroys the nunchucks.
Episode 2?
Okay, I think so. I think it's episode 2, right? I don't know. Like I watched some of them on Friday, and I watched some of them this morning. So I'm like, my brain's
Probably
got
episode 2,
joggled, right? Yeah. Okay. But so they tap back into all the other. We get to see clips of like Mighty Morphin, Ninja Storm, and I think that's really cool. So now we're acknowledging the other universes or the past Rangers. So we've established that they are part of a chain. And now, because we have a cosmic key, just like in Dimensions in Danger, where we're able to jump between dimensions, and there's only like 2 other dimensions to jump to, but neither here nor there. I'm excited to see if they're gonna accidentally, like one of the big twists where we could make it happen, right? They go like, because of this key, they're able to go into Lord Draken's dimension, right? And all we have to do is just drop in. And they see or basically Lord Draken, and they're like, "Oh crap!" They can't kill one of the Rangers. Well, they could, but I doubt they'd kill one of the Rangers. Maybe just take his powers, and they're like, "Oh man, we gotta go!" And that would canonize everything, man. It would be like, boom, game over. And now we would have a thought process. That's my wild fan theory. I understand you guys might disagree, but I'm just putting it out there.
I feel like another way they could do that is with Lord Zed. Because I seen a theory on TikTok earlier, and it was talking about how the Evil Rangers. Because Lord Zed left in the first season, he didn't get destroyed. My man's dead, and he's the only other person that can create them. So that would be dope to see them come into play.
Yeah, he's still.
That's a good.
Yeah, he's still out there. Like I said, I guess like they stayed in like the last half of the series. They gonna really start pumping out big stuff because I read on Morphin Legacy on this website Morphin Legacy that Commander Shaw is going to make an appearance on Dino Fury because like I said in the last slide, Lord Zed's staff is at Grid Battle Force.
Right.
See, what would be dope is if they because we still got like 2 more battleizers, so the second half might be popping as hell because the gold one has a battleizer in the Sentai, and I think blue. I gotta double check, but I know we got like 2 more battleizers that we gotta get introduced to.
Didn't they already introduce that one?
They have 3 on their team. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta relook at the show again, the Sentai version, but they have 3 on their team.
I was super excited about the Terrazord that came with the blue key. I was like, that Zord is awesome. I got super excited.
That shit looks clean.
Yeah, right. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the one. I was like, I looked at my wife because she was about to go out and do like her thing, and she was like, "You're super excited." And I'm like, "Cause I want to add that Zord to my collection." I have yet to say that about a single one of like the Dino Fury Zords, but that one, it's going in the case, yo.
Yo,
I can't wait for the.
You know what vibes it was giving me? The Time Force Zord, that one that they have, it's like blue and black. It was giving me that type of vibes.
You talking about the Time Shadow?
I think the Time Shadow Zord, that one.
Yeah,
I was in that type of vibe because that shit was slick.
Yeah, they found like they'll be getting all these power ups, and then the key with the boxing gloves. I was like, yeah, they kind of put that from Mystic Force, but I ain't mad at it though.
No, I ain't. I thought it. You know what? It paid homage, right? Because we already
Yeah,
established that they were using. They're building their tech off old Ranger stuff based on this.
yeah,
That's what I got out of that, right? So I mean, now the dinosaurs are just being kind of adapted and don't get me wrong, I think it's kind of cool. The whole we've never seen, like, we're always the finishing move's always like a sword strike, right? Like
yeah,
it's always like yeah, but this is the first time we've seen it where they bump it up, and I saw that what is it? Somebody put on there that this is the first time that we've ever discussed or had a conversation about baby Zords. Like that was kind
yeah,
of weird, right?
yeah. Have we seen it before? A baby Zord? Oh yeah,
No.
the Soul Bird off of Wild Force, the Soul Bird.
Oh yeah, it was an egg, and then it hatched
Yeah,
into the soul bird.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
yeah. I can't count that one. No, I can't count that one. Yeah, the Soul Bird, but yeah, I was talking about, and I was thinking about the mini Zord.
It
I
was
was
good of it.
like, nah, that's
Yeah, no, you can't count that. They're just toys. Those are just
Yeah.
little Zords.
yeah.
It would be dope to count those because they had a lot of them.
But Dino Fury season 2. It's just like right out the gate, just doing the damn thing. Like no fillers, barely, and more character development and
We got everybody got development so far.
yeah, Void Knight and his like we finally find out where he got the armor from. Like he basically, I guess, like he reconstituted. Like he couldn't access it himself, but he had to, use his genius mind to make his own stuff.
Can we acknowledge how strong this motherfucker was? Like he was wild strong. Like he was just ripping through them like it was easy. And it was cocky. You know what? You gotta give Dino Fury Rangers that because they was like, nah, we still go talk shit, and they still wanted to smoke.
Hey, my bad. Sorry.
Nah, man, like I support that cause like so much because they from the way Zato was like, nah, man, I don't need you, back off, and he was like, yo, but I'm kind of a big deal, like I want to help you, I'm kind of making amends, or I'm trying to make amends, and I love that kind of story arc, that kind of build, right, where it's not just, oh, well, he was a bad guy and, he's just out killing people to kill people. Like, when, like, he was sent out with that pumpkin monster and he was like, man, what am I doing? I mean, I love her, but I can't do this. I was enjoying that, man. Like, and this is pure... Go ahead.
No, my fault, go ahead.
My fault, I'm sorry. That kind of reminded me of Villamax. Remember at the end of Lost Galaxy? When he saw those children being hurt and he was like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, the hell of
about everything she did. That kind of paid homage to Void Knight, how he felt when he saw those children being petrified.
And, he was like, nah, what are you doing? You gonna poison all the water? What the?
And Kevlock said he just wanted her revived and to leave, but she was crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they could have left. They definitely could have left. But she was like, I got to destroy this planet. Then we'll leave.
Big Bad Beetleborg versus Ivan Ooze. He's gonna kill him.
Oh, so wait, so if Ivan Ooze has got some. Okay, so are we going to include the White Battleborg in that conversation? Because if it's just the three, I think the three
and the White Battleborg.
Oh man, I feel like what gives him, like, Ivan Ooze the biggest push is that he's able to just create minions, right? So he could just spit out like 50 people and be like, or 50 tangos and be like, hey, listen, overwhelm them. And as soon as like they just jump up on him, they're just, he doesn't care about, we've seen him kill one in the movie, right? So he'd just be like, bzz, boom, and just Beetleborgs are gone, tangos are gone, feathers and metal everywhere. Game over. Just saying.
Yo, like, Ivan Ooze a bad mother. Like,
yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember when I first saw the movie when he first destroyed the command center. I was like, I remember as a child, I was like, is this happening? Like, is he actually destroying the command center? And then Zordon almost dying, and it was like, I felt a level of uncertainty as usual. Hey, what's going on, Queen? But oh, they said Ivan Ooze and Zed. Well, you already
I
know what happened
still
in the movie with Ivan Ooze.
okay. So I'm gonna say we're gonna say pre. So like we've seen Zed take on the White Ranger by himself, but we've never really seen, and he lost horribly. Like
Yeah,
basically they broke his staff and he ran away crying. Right, that's legitimately what happened. So if we're gonna use before everything that's canon before Dino Fury, then okay, no, Zed's a goner. But if we're gonna say everything, if we're gonna include Dino Fury, because he got some kind of level up power up on there, because he took on the villain or the monsters and the Power Rangers with ease. So I feel like if you're gonna include Dino Fury, I'm gonna give it to Zed only because at that point, if they're going one on one, so like literally it's just boom, 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 fist against fist. But if you're gonna include powers, no, Ivan Ooze has got it all day because, like I said, always circles back that he can just spit out like 50 or 70 tangas and be like, "Get 'em, boys."
yeah.
I mean, the Z
That's it.
putties ain't no bitch. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay, all right, all right, all right, all right.
I
But
mean,
wouldn't
I'm just
wouldn't he need
saying.
Finster for that though? Because didn't he just take regular putties and then just zoot or basically infuse him with Z power or Z power or whatever his
I mean, he
evil
No,
has them on
power
command.
is?
Zed made his own putties like at the beginning when his first initial episode. He used his staff and he created those putties like at sheer will. If you remember the episode, the mutiny
Trying
part.
to
My
look.
man, and then he's strong. Just cause he was scared of what's that man's name? The Bishan Empire. Just because he was scared of them, my man was conquering universes before he got to Earth.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I have to give it to Lord Zed. Off of power wise, because we just didn't get enough of how strong he is. We just got told how strong he was.
hey, Red Cryptid. Have you seen the Batman yet?
Nah, I haven't seen it yet. I
Oh
haven't seen it
damn.
yet.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
gotta
go
watch
see
it.
it.
I'm hearing great
All
things
right.
though.
No, so like I haven't got a chance to see it yet either. Like no lie, I was hoping I was gonna be able to sneak away, but
Mm-hmm.
there was just no way to make it happen. But I can tell you that right now that even the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes as of like 5 minutes ago is 91%, and we're getting 85% with review scores. So I mean, really, in all honesty, you saw it obviously, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it last night.
So do you agree with the 85% or do you agree with the 91%? Because no spoilers, right? Because we got people
No,
who haven't
no
seen it or whatever.
spoilers.
But
I agree with the 91%. And
okay.
like, and I can't say this. I ain't gonna get no spoilers, but Batman, they should just like separate Batman
I bet Oven.
from DC. Period. Batman should just be his own thing, like by himself. Like he should no continuity with no other heroes, no other cities that houses those heroes or not. He should just do his detective work without dealing with no supernaturals, no Ra's al Ghul, no nothing like that. Because that's the Batman that everyone was waiting for. Him doing all the detective work, figuring out like who's doing all of this, and figuring out who the Riddler was, and it was just crazy. But and the theme song, like they kept they kept playing that theme song like the whole entire movie.
I
All
can't
right.
wait
So
to
no
see it.
spoilers,
I
but
want
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
want them to
Crib.
build around this. I would love for them to build around this Batman. Give him like a good
yeah,
like 4 movies by himself.
yeah. Like I don't like they said like, oh, I don't want Superman or any other superhero in my Batman universe. And after seeing that movie, I was like, okay, that's fine. That's good. That's good. But yeah, I would encourage you to go see it because you're not gonna be able to avoid spoilers on TikTok. I'm just saying because they did it for Spider-Man No Way Home, and I had to stay off TikTok for up until I seen the movie. So be wary.
I waited 2 weeks. I waited 2 weeks to post something about No Way Home because a lot of people wasn't seeing it on TikTok.
Yo, I support that too because I saw it and everybody was running and like we probably all follow the same movie guys, right? Like Straw Hat Goofy and Soups and whatever.
Yeah.
And they were teasing stuff, kind of like what they're doing with the Batman now. And like I'm on the flip of this, right? It just came out. I'm gonna the kids are on spring break on the 14th. And I'm gonna do stuff with them during the week, but then there's gonna be like 2 days where I gotta go do something.
Oh,
and
really?
then one of the
Spring break?
man, like I know, spring break. Yeah, I can't. I'm taking the kids to the zoo. I'm taking them to basically like our version of Chuck E. Cheese on Wednesday, and then I'm taking them out on the boat on Friday. So like Tuesday and Thursday are free. So I'm gonna go like I gotta go do some like paperwork stuff. And then while I'm doing paperwork stuff, I'm gonna sneak out. I'm gonna try. If I can't get to it before then, I'm gonna go. That's gonna be my day. I said that's the last day because I can't avoid. I can't keep avoiding spoilers. It's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, they spoiled they was spoiling the hell out of No Way Home off of TikTok and YouTube. I had to stay off both of them. Like that's why I couldn't I had to barely post my videos with my eyes closed. I had to see the as soon as you
People like to jump on the algorithm.
That's all you see is doggone Spider-Way No Way Home, Spider-Way No Way Home, spoilers. I'm like, let me get off here. Let me go upload it somewhere else or have my wife upload it at least.
I gotta do something different, yo.
Yeah, cause I was like, dang, I ain't seen the movie yet. Y'all already spoiling it online. It's like, where do y'all get off spoiling it? And then have people like, man, I don't want to go see it anymore because it's already spoilers, and I already knew this was going to happen. Blah 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 blah. And it's just crazy how people don't care to post spoilers on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. It's just ridiculous. And people use social media all the time, to catch up with friends and talk to people and whatnot. But you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it by looking at it and you be like, God damn, I still want to go see the movie, but I'm gonna be less surprised. And I would have been mad.
And that's the crazy push, right? Is that if we're gonna, because we all put decent content out there. I mean, Crip, has us. I feel like Crip has me beat hands down. I still got 3 things in my draft, Crip, that you were a part of, and I'm like, man, I'm not happy with the way it worked out, so I'm gonna wait. And redo them. I'm gonna put some of that up tonight, man. Like the mountain thing, I had a great answer for the mountain thing, but I blanked on one of my answers, and I was in the middle of something when you first posted that video, right? And I was like, oh man, and I didn't have time to record. I'm like, no, I'm gonna answer this question.
What question?
That's just a great question. I actually might replace somebody with Zato, depending how he turns out at the end of this.
Yeah, because it kind of brought it down for me with Zato because he was kind of hypocritical when he was confronting Void Knight. But,
well, and I get the hypocrisy end of it too, but I also get that he's kind of on a planet. His job is to protect, and he's being super noble. But part of a great hero, being a great hero and being a great leader, is being able to take a step back and review the situation. Like if he would have brought Void Knight in to begin with, that it wouldn't have taken Void Knight out so quick in the game, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like he had 2 opportunities to just be like, I'm not going to be a jerk. And the loudest one was obviously later in the season, second part of the season, where he was just basically screaming at him. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, that's cool, but I don't care. You need to bounce, and I feel like if that was a true test of his character, but like they said, and it stuck with me because when he killed after he got the upgrade, he got the morpher from Void Knight. You know, the monster was like, I've been beaten by a teenager, and I'm like, well, that's the problem with teenagers, right? Like, not to be old man about it or whatever, but like seriously, like they just don't know any better. They think their stuff don't stink, right? So they think their stuff don't stink, right? So. Of 2D about it. That's just my opinion. I ain't gonna go too far on that, but that's my opinion, right? I'm just putting it out there.
So, what are y'all
Jason, Black Ranger,
11 episodes? Like, who you think is gonna get like at the end? Who you think is gonna be most developed out of the 6 Rangers?
I feel like they're gonna. You took my answer. That's not cool.
I feel like, and you know what's crazy? And then here's another theory: Ollie and what's this girl's name? Oh my god, I can't remember her name.
Amelia,
the Pink Ranger.
Amelia,
yeah. Is it Amelia? No. The Pink Ranger.
The Pink Ranger's Amelia.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna end up being together.
Oh, you think so?
Well, okay, so we haven't had
like those. If you repeat those last like 10 episodes, the whole season, they spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And there was some feelings like on the Ghost episode or whatever. She kind of leaned into it a little hard, right?
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh well, can we go check out for ghosts in the woods or whatever?" And I think that's good because you know what, we haven't had a real like romantic interest. You know, I mean, we can throw out the greats like Kimberly and Tommy, and then you know, obviously he kind of switched sides and went Kimberly, you know, or Catherine and Tommy, and then but after that it was all fan fiction until we had Wes and Jen, and then there really wasn't. And then after Wes and Jen, there hasn't. I mean, because you can kind of argue that Andros and Ashley kind of had a thing, you know, but like it wasn't blatant. Like you knew by the end of Time Force that she was carrying that torch hard, right? She just couldn't get past her own self to have it. So I feel, and I might be wrong. So if I am, you guys can correct me. But I feel like we haven't had a romantic element, which is more adult, right? So that's why they kind of steer away from it. Since then, and if we could have that, even if it's in like a teenager, like you know, I'm 10 and 11 kind of a theory, where we're holding hands. But we are kind of getting that also with Izzy and her girlfriend because she took her to prom, right? Which I thought, you know what, mad props for them to really like. I understand, like, you know, some people might feel like that's pushing an agenda, but I think it's really great that we've had the first, you know, Ranger underneath that distinction, carrying that flag, right? I think that's so groundbreaking because it's something like when we were kids that would have never happened. You know, like you couldn't have Kimberly hang out with Trini other than just being friends. You know what I mean? Like just putting it out there.
Also, what about I'm sorry about that, but I think that's why Nickelodeon done pushed it off to Netflix, but because of that. I think that's why they pushed it.
I feel Hasbro knows what it's doing. I feel like Hasbro's like, listen, let's boost out. I feel like there's some kind of contract that they have to meet, something that's going to allow that to kind of, you know, get to the resolution. And then when that comes done and they've met their obligations, they're going to be able to really start talking about our stuff, like what's coming next.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's just my theory.
Oh yeah, there was Madison and Nick, but that came out of nowhere. And
right.
And Miss Force. I was like, okay, you're gonna come back for her. That's fine, I guess. But it wasn't really built up until the end. And Hunter and Tori, that was kind of hinted, but it went nowhere during the follow-up when they teamed up with Dino Thunder. But as far as actually showing real, relationship, like kissing and going on actual dates and um, yeah, I would like to see that more because the only real kiss we got was like Kimberly and Tommy. But after that, it was basically uh, hold
No, and I support that cause. And I don't know if you've seen it yet. I don't know. Have you heard about this Mark Cooper guy yet? Who dropped the 6 songs of the Power Rangers? The Black Ranger. He did a Black Ranger and a Red Ranger. It's pretty good. He really dropped the beat hard, I feel, on the Black Ranger, but it was the Red Ranger and the Blue Ranger song were pretty good too. Like, and they were straight up, "Welcome back, brother."
All right, hey, Rick, what's going on, Black Panther? What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
How you been today?
Good. I'm excited.
Oh, what you excited about?
I might be going to see the Batman.
Oh yeah. What time you trying to go?
8, 10 o'clock.
Mm,
It's when it's
yeah.
time right in there.
Yeah. Me and my wife, we went at 7 o'clock last night, but we got at around 10:15 last night. We got out. Yeah, that's when we got out. So
It's that 3-hour movie, yo.
if you go at 10, you ain't getting out to what, like maybe 1, 1 o'clock.
Mhm.
But the movie's good though. Yeah. I as you was asking for other back to your other question, Jason. Um, being like 91, you said between 91 and 81%. I'm leaning more towards the 91% because like
And
it was just like it was just great, like from start to finish, like the right amount of like mystery, drama, and action and development. It wasn't like convoluted all over the place. None of that. Gotham's still you know a bad place to live.
that was a
Dealing with
very, very political way, or very,
yeah,
very well danced way of saying, it's a crap hole.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Did you hear about the Penguin getting his own show for HBO Max?
I did
Mhm.
hear about that. I'm kind of excited to see because they did really good stuff with the Peacemaker. We got the Batgirl coming to HBO Max. I'm excited about that because I don't know. Did you guys watch the first iteration of the Batgirl that they are Batwoman or whatever that
You
was
talk,
on the?
you talking about before what's her name? Ryan Wilder came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the last 2 episodes of that season, the first season, but yeah, it was pretty good so far. And then like second going to the third, and then you're dealing with the third season. You're dealing with Batman trophies, I guess, like with the Mad Hatter and the Joker, Poison Ivy, and whatnot, turning everybody into this new version of Mad Hatter, Joker. Well, the new Joker. He was like tormented or tortured by the original Joker, and now, um, like they're playing like close together with Batwoman because they're half siblings. If you didn't know,
No,
you know,
no, I finished it out. I thought it was. I'm excited because CW had the run for a long time. Like they were pumping out some good. I watched Arrow. I watched pieces of Legends of Tomorrow, and I watched some of The Flash. The Flash got a little redundant, and I was kind of excited, because I think we talked about it on the last live too, because Diggle was building up to be the Green Lantern, right? Like that was going to be like a big win for us. We're finally going to see a real Green Lantern, and I saw, so I had to, when that kind of petered out, I had to deal with the drop, which was still very exciting, and I felt it was really done really, really. If you guys haven't seen Stargirl, It's a little, I feel like they're trying a little hard to be like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but that's my opinion. But I love the fact that we got a female version of Green Lantern, and I like the way they tied that in. I haven't seen the last half of the second season yet. That's on my to-do list. But once I've got that I want to see the female Green Lantern. I want to see her on the small screen. I'm super excited about that. What do you think, Black Panther?
Unless it's on like Netflix, I won't be able to see it. But Arrow is what got me hooked into the Arrowverse, and then the Flash is what made me stick around. And then I fell in love with the Arrowverse, right around season 3 of Arrow. And then Supergirl came because of the first crossover event with the Dominators, and then the Flash. I watched the Flash because of the first time Barry showed up in season 2 of the Arrow, and then everything just fell into line from there. So, Lucifer, I felt like Lucifer was done poorly. The writing was trash. The acting was okay. What else? Black Lightning. The writing could have been done a lot better, but I thought the acting was great in that. How many others are there? Supergirl fell off around season 4 or 5. I felt like just got really redundant, and it was at moments. Other moments was straight up garbage. But it's Supergirl. She's my wife, so I had to see it through. I had to see it through.
And now,
right out to the end.
And now, like she's just there. Like now, like after I haven't seen the finale, the series finale. Now she's just like out there in the Arrowverse. Every time they like, oh, where's Kara? Oh, she's off world, or she's doing this. Like now they gotta make an excuse why Kara isn't like around. Like especially with Superman and Lois. Like, like hey, where's Kara? Like, oh, she's off world. Oh, she's doing this. Like you gotta like bring her in sometime for guest appearances at least.
But if you, my bad, brother, my bad. You go.
So I love what they're doing with Superman and Lois. Me and my wife are avid watchers of that right now. We're using the CW app to catch up on it on our leisure, right?
Yeah.
Shane, and I like where they're going. I liked where the first season came out. I feel like for us, and I don't know about you guys, but I grew up on Smallville, right? That was our first real introduction to, like, I was there when it premiered, and I followed it all the way, 10 years I was there, back to just running it, right?
Yeah.
And that was our first real DC TV show. I feel like it broke some ground, and it was kind of Monsters of the Week, and and we slowly got to get to know and enjoy, Tom Welling as he became into Superman, and we never got to see that, right? But I feel like now they did it smart this time. They introduced Superman through Supergirl, and then, kind of started to make him like a thing. And now we kind of like grew up with the character as he evolved through the the crossovers and adding into the show, and then they established Lois too. And the way that they did the first season was so good, right? I really feel like they tackled like some of the high points that could really keep you going. And now we're hooked. And I feel like it's a beautiful blend of what the best of CW had to offer with the Arrowverse and what Smallville represented, right? Like we're seeing Clark Kent. What would happen if Clark Kent came back to Smallville and still had to have a life with kids? Like we've never seen that before. And the fact that they're bringing that, and now they're introducing like alternate versions, no spoilers, or alternate people from alternate. Yeah, okay. I don't want to go too crazy. But that's where I'm at. I'm really excited. Go, but that was my take on that, man. Like I'm so excited about it. It's really good.
Oh, you lost. What you gonna say, Black Panther? Or
Oh no, I have, uh, so I've already had season 2 ruined for me. I wouldn't
mm-hmm.
say ruined. Well, I wouldn't say I got it ruined. It just got me more excited. I know that uh, is it okay if I say the villain's name? Everybody's okay with that
From
Yeah.
season 1 or 2?
from season 2.
Oh, you go ahead. I probably seen like pictures online, but I don't want it like the whole story to be.
Hmm.
But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, uh, with what they're doing with that little twist in season 2 episode 2, instead of it being Doomsday, it's Bizarro. I feel like they did that. That was pretty awesome. Threw everybody for a loop. Um, Bizarro, great villain so far from what I've seen. Um, there's been some lackluster moments. It's like TW is getting back into the old habits, but overall, from what I've seen from season 2, it looks to be great.
Is it
So far, go ahead.
is it I got a question. Is it comic? Is he acting like a comic accurate Bizarro, or is he acting like Smallville Bizarro?
I've never seen Smallville, or but he's not like um I haven't really heard him speak for what I've seen. I turn the sound down that way I don't have to ruin the interactions between them.
Uh
So
huh.
I don't know if he's speaking the way Bizarro speaks in the comics, but from what I've seen, it's a mirror image of this of Superman of Tyler's Superman. So uh,
I'm gonna tell you right now, from everything I've seen so far, they've done it well. I
okay.
haven't caught up all the way, but I definitely, when it happened and the way it happened, we're on a different level. We're not Smallville level here. We've amped it up. We're taking it to an extreme. There was a moment in like episode 4 where like the series of events that happened, and because of the way it panned out, I'm like, oh my, I know who it is. Like when he said Bizarro, I'm like, oh, I cashed in my chips. I just won the lottery because I was right. I literally was talking to my wife on Thursday. I was like, this is Bizarro, and she looked at me. And she goes, I don't even know who Bizarro is. I'm like, I will show you who Bizarro is.
Yeah. I enjoyed. I thought the Smallville version of Bizarro was more menacing because of how he acted. Like at first, he only cared about his own survival, and then when he saw Lana, he just fell in love with her, and he wanted Clark's life. And I thought that was a pretty decent story arc for him. It was lackluster of how he was defeated, but overall, his that story arc up until the end was good.
For me, Superman and Lois, it's given us a different side of Superman that other than Smallville has never been portrayed before. Smallville showed him growing up and becoming Clark and show him being Clark Kent and then becoming Superman. This is him already established as Superman and trying to find the perfect balance of Superman and spending time with his family. That's what I love about it. It's action packed. It, in my opinion, there could be a little bit more action in it, but that's just me. I love action movies, so that just could be that part of me talking.
That
But
shit, just CW.
it's
CW
yeah,
has that drama.
it's great.
But
So it's perfect
uh,
in my opinion.
I
I
saw
think.
I saw a clip
Go ahead.
um for DC's Legend of Tomorrow. Like I haven't seen it in a while, but I saw a clip
I haven't either.
of a Booster Gold played by Turk from Scrubs. I was like, no,
Hmm.
it didn't. And I was like, now I gotta watch Legends of Tomorrow all over again because they're introducing another version of Booster Gold, and you got Donald that's his name, Donald Faison as Booster Gold. So I'm like, okay, I got to see this.
So have they brought out the new season on Netflix yet for Legends of Tomorrow and for The Flash? Because I have not been able to see either one of those. And Stargirl, I have not seen any of the Stargirl or the Batwoman series. I did see
Stargirl and Batwoman are on HBO Max. So
Yeah.
if you have HBO Max, you can catch up on that. After the summer break, because right now they're still airing live episodes, and the deal that CW has with Netflix is that once it comes to conclusion, they're allowed to have content after the summer break, and the new season is rolling. So you will be able to see it so basically September. So what we're seeing now in circulation will be available in September's viewing in Netflix world. Like, just to give a breakdown, because I know weird stuff like that.
Okay, bet. The Flash, I liked the Flash up until season 5 with the Thinker. I liked season 5, by the way, but it kind of fell off after the Thinker for me.
Yeah.
So
that's what. Yeah, that's the whole. Yeah, that's like everybody. Like, after the Thinker. I'm sorry, I pronounced that name wrong. But yeah. After that, like, it pretty like was kind of down here after that. Like, every villain after that. Who was after the Thinker?
I don't.
It was Cicada.
Oh yeah, Cicada. Yeah. I didn't catch the rest of that either. I didn't see the rest of that. I didn't see like the middle parts, but I saw the finale when they went to the future. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we spoiling, Jason?
No. I had my own thoughts.
Oh, okay.
I had my own thoughts.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I know it's okay.
What I was saying, yeah. I only caught the part where they went to the future and fought Reverse Flash at the end of
Okay.
Yeah, that was okay, but
To me, that was the best part of that whole season. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then
And that's sad too, because if you need Reverse Flash to be the best part of the season, then you're not doing it. Then you're not doing very good with your villains. And if you need him to be the main villain after he's already was the main villain, because with Cicada he was pulling the strings. Season 8, he's been pulling the strings. Season 2, or not season 2, season, I want to say season 3 or 4, where he was pulling the strings. The fight against the Germans and on Earth X, the crossover event, he was there pulling the strings.
Yeah.
You can't. The Flash is in this little predicament where they can't do a good villain unless the Reverse Flash, is pulling the strings. So
he's preaching exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, the Cicada was such an amazing thought process of a villain, right? And even and then you followed it back, but it all tied back into the daughter, which I respected, right? Because they were doing a thing with it, and it was cool to see that brought onto the screen. But at the same time, Cicada and everything that Cicada represented in the comics, I feel kind of fell a little short, because they shoehorned in, oh well, it's Reverse Flash and he's the one, it's Cicada's piece that's keeping his powers at bay, right? If it wasn't for this, and that was his whole drive to bring it home, right? And so I felt like at the end of the day, even though, like, I get it, for people who've never read a comic, for people who've never picked up or followed this long, even if you do just anime, right? The big struggle between the Flash and the Reverse Flash, that's his ultimate ego. That's like Lex Luthor, Superman kind of a deal going on, but they're evenly matched, right? So there's no true winner, in my opinion, at the end of the day. That's where I'm at.
But
And they had, go ahead.
oh no, you finish that thought process because what I'm going to say may or may not tie into it. So
So, so we built up with this really great villain, and even when we like eradicated the original, because originally he was a male. It was the guy from American Pie. That's how I remember him, right? Like he was the.
Is that the guy? Is that the guy?
That is, it's the guy. It's the guy from American Pie. I swear to you.
Law and Order. That's what I thought.
Oh, it was the guy from.
Oh my god.
I was like, it's the lacrosse player, the one who hooked up with the nerdy chick, dude. Like,
I could not take that season. Now I cannot take that season seriously anymore because of that. Hey, real quick. Hey, Cryptic. I try to invite you in, but like it says, I reached the maximum request for some odd reason. I don't know.
really,
But, yeah. What was I about to say? Yeah. Oh, you know who the actress that played Cicada, the other Cicada, the future Cicada?
yeah.
You know her? You know what she was also on?
What?
She was on Smallville.
really.
Alicia.
Really? Oh man, look at you bringing in some really good throwback. All right, I like it. This is why we're friends. I'm just saying right now.
Here's the thing,
That's
though.
Alicia. What would you say?
Speaking, wasn't Nora, his daughter? Wasn't she also like a kid in Smallville?
Who?
Because she's the chick that plays Nora Rex.
Oh, no, she was Plastique off of Smallville. She was Plastique. Season
That's
8.
what I. The biggest thing I have towards the Flash is that right after he came back from the Speed Force, they go into therapy. It's like, oh, okay, fine. You've been gone for 6 months, and he's been in the Speed Force for 10,000 years. Okay, I respect that. Trying to cut away at the edges that both of you guys have. And she goes, "We are the Flash, Barry. You shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have decided to almost quit watching the Flash when she said that."
Like,
I would have said,
lady, do you have Speed Force energy inside you?
yeah. And then every time when he sent Noah back in the future because she's working with his greatest enemy. Oh, I'm like, yeah, good job, Barry. No hesitation. You did what you had to do. Good job. You finally did something on your own free will. You didn't have to talk to anybody else. You didn't have to talk to Cisco, Killer Frost, Caitlin. You did it all on your own. Congratulations. Then she goes, "You shouldn't have done that. You should have confided in me."
Like a chop. Like wait a minute.
Candy Cotton, you are beautiful. You're a beautiful woman. But they done your character dirty.
They done.
So here's my question I have for you guys now. So with one of us who have actually seen the Batman and with everything that they have going on, so let's talk just for a minute, right, about our thoughts for the upcoming Flash movie. Like, no lie. So we're gonna get the OG Batman back in here. He's not only gonna be there, but he's gonna be in Batgirl as well. And then we have the new Aquaman movie that's coming out. That's gonna tie every. No.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Oh
the
man.
Aquaman?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me. What's going on? Why not?
Pirates of the Caribbean. One of the first movies I've ever loved was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. And then the first movies I've ever loved was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. And then the other Pirates of the Caribbean movies, loved him. Johnny Depp, he hit me. That goes his whole career. And then we find out later on
It was all a
that
lie.
he was never the abuser.
Yeah.
That she hit the man many times, and then the $5 million she said she sent to charity, never did. She lied there, and she gets a movie, but he has to. But he gets all of his other stuff taken away.
Yeah, they
I'm
come out
sorry,
with a
but
reboot.
I won't watch.
They come out with a reboot
My
of
bad.
Pirates of the Caribbean, and I think they're getting Margot Robbie as a female lead. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna see that. I'm probably gonna see it if I'm
I'm
bored or something. Like whenever it comes
I'll
out.
see that just for Margot Robbie.
Nah, she is.
Yeah.
She is a hottie with a naughty body.
Yeah, that's why I watch.
Uh-huh.
That's why I watch Wolf of Wall Street at least like 3 times.
That's why we all watch Wolf of Wall Street.
You sure it wasn't because of the star talent? You had Leonardo DiCaprio. You had like 2 other big name actors. Was it just for one little bitty female?
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of itty bitty on her though. I'm just saying.
She was like, just movie so much. I was like, because the acting, and Leonardo DiCaprio, he's a legend. Yeah, let's go with that. But what was your question? I'm sorry, we got off track. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. So with the Flash movie, now this is Flashpoint, and we're all relatively in charge or have good knowledge for the Flashpoint in comics, right? This is a big step because they could completely reset the entire DC universe, right? I mean, with this movie, they could, because now you could take it wherever you wanted to go. You can, retcon any mistakes, but it's a one shot. We can't have another Flashpoint, right? I mean, that's it. So if you guys had to pick two things you want to see because of the new Flash movie, what would they be? So like you watched the Flash movie and you're excited about it. It was everything you wanted it to be. This is the question now. What would you like to see spawn from that?
I need a minute to think.
I already have one idea.
I do too.
I want my
I
want my right feet back in there. Melissa Benoist. I want her to be Supergirl.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want them to connect the CW with the DC, bring in Green Arrow, Stephen Amell, and bring in bring in Melissa Benoist. That's my one idea. So that's the one thing I want to happen.
I've got my 2. Are you ready?
I'm ready. So after you say this one, I'm gonna come up with my second one.
All right. So I'm gonna give you my first one. My first one is that since we're retconning everything, I want them to take this opportunity to finally give us a Lantern Corps movie. Now, because we've retconned it, so Ryan Reynolds is no longer Green Lantern, right? Because we retconned it. So now we go hard and we pick out up with but we need the Green Lantern to be a thing. I am 100%. This is our opportunity to finally be like, so yes, but now Ryan Reynolds doesn't exist anymore as Green Lantern, and now we can do it right. We can get. I don't care which Green Lantern we choose. I don't care if we choose Hal Jordan or I don't care. But I want it. I want that universe to finally come to full fruition. That's what I want. I want to see all the rings in live action on the big screen and not just like this little more yellow. No, I want to see all the rings because the comic books are amazing, and the fact that and that's the reason everyone's like, oh my, it's toxic, right? Or it was so bad we just have to stay away from it. Well, now is our chance. That's the first thing. So that's my first take.
Spider Lad, you brought up a great point. They could make Ryan Reynolds canon, but then replace him with Jon Stewart.
Ooh, I like that. Oh, Spider Lad's on top of it, man. He made a good.
is the I might be biased, okay. John Stewart is one of the most powerful Green Lanterns, if not the most powerful Green Lantern there is, because his constructs are engineer based. And when they made him as a character, it set the standard. Instead of everybody being a military person, which is fine, or a doctor, it set the standard for people like us, that instead of it being a cook or a dishwasher, that we actually have that
Yes,
we
yeah.
now have standards for people like us. It is engineer, or a fighter pilot, or a uh, businessman. Just so when he became Green Lantern, it was a big step in the right direction.
I support that, and I agree, John. Hal Jordan's been done, so let's give John Stewart an opportunity at the mantle, right? And we have that chance because we would love to. We're doing Black Adam, right? And The Rock's going, and they're just gonna. Do you realize how many people are gonna show up just to see that movie because The Rock is in it?
Yeah.
Like legitimately, like if we get some super good star power behind it, I always thought that Dwayne Johnson would make a great like John Stewart, and that just might be biased on my part because I'm a fan of his or whatever. But I would even, and I doubt we could ever get him to do it, right? But
Yeah.
and it's just because he's a personal fan favorite of mine. I take Washington as John Stewart as more of a seasoned, Green Lantern, right? Could you see it? Just let him build up or bulk up just a little bit and let him roll with it. That is my tiny take on that. I don't get
Me,
it. So
I
yeah.
got one. I got one that I want like sprouted or retcon or fixed or whatever if Warner Brothers makes up their mind. The only thing I want is Henry Cavill to come back as Superman. That's the only thing I want. Everything else can fall into place. I can not gonna say or I like this, blah blah blah. But if they can get Henry Cavill to come back, great. That's my only thing I would want out of
Well, they can. My bad.
No, I was finished. I was finished.
My bad, brother. I just want to say that again. But they can technically make as many Flashpoint movies as they want, because uh it might only be one book, but it is so impactful that you can play it so many different ways. Like he goes back in time and saves his mom, or he goes back in time and keeps himself from saving his mom. So um there's so many different ways you can play with the Flashpoint with the Flashpoint. Um or you can do or you can go back in time and save Batman's family from dying. Or he can go back in time and what is it? Bring uh bring Wonder Woman and be earlier than what was originally happened. So there's so many
Yeah,
different ways you can
Spider.
play
Go
it.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know
But
what I know. The W. I know like what after Flashpoint that can bring in the idea of the multiverse. Have y'all read uh Dark Knight Metal story? Have y'all read that?
Not yet. No.
It's basically I would want them to do like a story about the dark multiverse dealing with the all evil versions of Batman. And the synopsis of that, right? The Justice
You're
League dealing
talking.
with the Justice League dealing with several evil versions of Batman. Like there's one that looks like Doomsday. That's one that's in Olympian armor that was basically designed for Ares. You got one that's a woman that she surgically modify her body to make it as though her body is Atlantean. And we got one that's Red Death, the one that's a Flash version of Batman, and then what was the other one? A cyborg version of Batman, and there was one more, and the Batman Who Laughs. Yeah, that's what I would want to see, like that story arc being, you know, melded into one and had a lot of build up to it, and basically be like an end all be all kind of story arc to the DCEU, and then move on from Batman. Period. Like, because I understand the Batman was good, but we need more. There are other heroes out there. There are other heroes that they can adapt, like Static, um, Booster Gold, Steel. If y'all haven't seen that movie yet, but Shit O'Neal, Steel, but it can
man.
That's brutal. And full disclosure here, in my mind, the movie Steel is in the Batman and Robin universe. In my mind. Mm-hmm. but yeah, that's my only take of what I would want to see after the Flash movie, like, consequences basically of doing that. Doing that, going back to save his mom, and then after that he comes, he fixes everything, and then after that there's consequences. Even though you fixed everything, you open the door to more consequences. Hence, Dark Knight's Metal. That's my only thing. That's my one. But I would go see Aquaman. Just to go see it. But like, I'm not going to be excited about it. If it came out and it went over my head and say like, "Oh, Aquaman came out today," I'm not going to, try to trample over mountains to go see it. But
no, I don't even have, like, all joking aside, like, I'm not even, like, I want to see the Batman, it's definitely, but my biggest, and I don't mean to pivot because I know that the DC is good, and I don't mean to or overshadow it with Marvel, but my biggest push right now to make sure that I'm there to see is going to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. When they dropped that trailer and they talked about Patrick Stewart, and we heard his voice, right?
yeah,
I tripped out. I don't even care how they do it, right? I don't care if he's some weird, not even close to what we. As long as he shows up and he is like, at once upon, even if it's an alternate universe and he's just part of this, like the whole thing is that he's part of this council, and he just mentions about how he once was Xavier, or he once ran the school of Xavier. That's all I need. That's the one piece I'm looking for, man. Like, I'm excited about the movie across the board because I watched I'm sure we, like, I watched the WandaVision, and I'm excited to see how that's going to tie in, because I feel like it's a gap filler. We went from the end of the death of Tony Stark to like filling out all this back drama, and we did it in pieces, right? Which was bite size on Disney Plus, which was great. But now I want to see it come. So now I have that filler. I've got that why Wanda's the way she is, and I want to see her just wreck house. Like, I'm really ready. I'm ready. Let's do it.
COVID missed, after, COVID messed everything up. Like, after Endgame, they gave us like a cool down time, after, cool down time. And then, after Spider-Man Far From Home, everything's supposed to have been game changer in 2021 and whatnot, but they just kept pushing it back because of COVID, and then they had to go back and do reshoots and whatnot, and some of the stuff had to. I think I read that the reason why Spider-Man No Way Home was going to be a completely different movie before they pushed it back.
It was because America Chavez, she was supposed to come in and be basically the reason. Or she was supposed to be the one who opens the portal. So just for those who know, and move on, right?
Yeah.
So we had that, and she was supposed to be the the Porter Hopper, right? And and because Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was supposed to come out, and that was also supposed to strengthen the reason that he was willing to help Peter, right? Because of like some of the mistakes that he had made with Chavez, right? Because she's a, so the fact that they kind of had to fix that because they had more footage of one versus the other, and I feel like it's a mixed bag, right? We got, because of that, it opened the opportunity for them to expand on the trio that we got, and because at that point everybody in this live now knows that these three were in the movie, right? If you didn't, I'm not gonna even mention their names, but these three are in the movie, and we got to see more to it, and because we got to see that, I feel like that canonized a bunch of stuff, and it was like, for me, I remember 2004, like when I watched that movie. I remember standing up at the movie theater the first time, like, and obviously there was Blade and the X-Men, but then it was Spider-Man, right? And then when and it still sticks in my head to this day. I'm sitting in the theater, I've got good seats, and he's walking out of the graveyard and he's giving his monologue, right? With great power comes great responsibility. I stood up and I'm like, that's how you do it! That's how we make a movie! I got like 9 people looking at me like my head's spinning like left to right. But I don't care, because that sold me right there. That, to me, I was like, that was chef's kiss. And I haven't had that. And there were moments that popped up where I felt that again, that connection to what I knew. And then there's people who grew up with, Andrew Garfield, and they got that connection. And then there's the people who are brand new to the run who really saw the pivotal change in art. I feel, because now we are where we are, and it's a new story. So I'm excited about that. So I feel we got some good stuff out of it, but I would have loved to see this too, American Chavez do her thing. But we're gonna get it. It's just not gonna be as epic as it could have been, and that's my take.
So what
I was about. Oh, my bad, brother.
I'm sorry. What are y'all thoughts on like what do you think they're planning, since they're bringing all the Netflix shows to Disney Plus?
That Stars bonus.
I said Midnight Sun.
Oh, Midnight Sun
and the Ultimates.
I feel like it's a push, because I read an article of them just talking about how they're going to go to heavy based, like from like a business aspect, right? We don't have the Stars add-on, and it's not Stars like the special movie or whatever, like the movie channel, but it's like it's the adult content it's the adult side of Disney Plus that like Canada and the UK have. So now they have content to fill that, and they're testing it with Moon Knight. This is the first time, and I'm excited for Moon Knight. I don't know nothing about Moon Knight. My buddy, one of my really good friends, he's a super big Moon Knight fan, and he was like, downloading me hard on everything that I'm about to experience, and he gave me a couple to come to. But it's gritty, street level combat, right? And we already have that. And now they have something to build from. So they have, oh, hey, by the way, you like Disney, you like the PG-13 Disney, come check us out here at Stars with the M17, because like Daredevil was some wicked stuff. That was some violence,
Yeah,
and then the Punisher on top of it.
Especially that prison scene.
Yeah.
Yo.
That prison scene, and that was the best part of Daredevil, in my opinion. That was the best part of Daredevil. I know Daredevil himself had some moments. Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say Daredevil himself had moments, but that was the best part of Daredevil. That prison scene.
Them hallway fights and that continuous shots for every
that
that was that got me clued. I was like, is there going to be a cutaway? I was like, oh snap, they keep going with this, because like I remember there's a movie out there like that, not DC or Marvel related, but there's a movie out there that does one continuous shot the entire movie, and I forgot what that movie was, but I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna forward you guys like once we slide it through. But there's a movie out there that does that kind of shot the entire movie. There's no cutaways, there's no transition or nothing. It's just one continuous shot, and I gotta find it and forward it to y'all. But yeah, I can't wait for them either couple or Luther or Finn and whatnot. And I hope they retcon some of Iron Fist, because Iron Fist was like a bit.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Keep going.
It will be like left to be desired with Iron Fist, because I didn't see the rest of season 2, but my friends tell me that season was awful. The final season of Iron Fist.
It was bad. Hey, I'm gonna get off and probably go on my own live for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So, thank you for letting me on here. If Red Cryptic Ranger is still here, you can probably get him back on.
All right, cool.
I'll see you, brother.
All right, see you. So what you guys up to while we wait? While we wait for Jason to come back. But if you haven't seen the Batman movie yet, go ahead and see it, because that movie was great. Like, great detective work. You know, Gotham is still a shitty place to live. Corrupt cops. Y'all should know that by now. But if for the ones who had came in late, or who are still watching, or who came in earlier, or who haven't seen the beginning of it, we were talking about Dino Fury, the first half Dino Fury, and where did it go, and pretty much did it keep going with the story and not slow down with filler, because most seasons before Dino Fury, there was a lot of filler, in my opinion, especially with Megaforce. And like I said before, I don't hate a Power Ranger season. There are some cringeworthy stuff going on, but I can't hate a Power Ranger season, like, because it's supposed to be going with the main continuity of the show, the franchise. So I can't really hate it for a season, especially everybody hates Operation Overdrive and everybody pretty much hates Megaforce, but I can't really hate it. Don't you agree?
See, and I feel like a lot of the hate definitely comes from, like the expectation was so high for Megaforce, right? Like, it was the 25th anniversary. We had an opportunity to use so much Sentai footage and really get that into fruition. And I feel like they tried to do better with Dimensions in Danger. And then even the crossover. I don't know if you've seen the Sentai version of the Beast Morphers episode, where they get all that was the biggest. That was like everyone's holding their breath, right? Because we finally had like the OG Rangers come back, and of all the Dino Rangers. So we had Dino Thunder, we had Mighty Morphin, and then we had Dino Charge, and then we had Beast Morphers, right? Like, it was a really big opportunity. And I feel if Saban would have spent more money and just paid these actors to come back and paid homage to the fans, which is what keeps us buying the toys or keeps us streaming the content, that they would have made a difference. And I feel that they dropped the ball. That's my opinion.
What I would have done if I was running a production like that, and had actors sign on, like before the whole 20 episodes a year thing. Let's say they did the whole 40 episodes flat out, right? So I would have them sign a contract up to like 10 years to appear in at least like a couple of like special episodes, tune-up episodes, this, that, and the third, anniversary, a 10-year contract saying that, hey, come, when we, even though when your season's finished, we may call you back to do an episode or two for every couple of years or whatever for 10 years. Like once your 10 contract is up, your 10-year contract is up, that's it. Or you can renegotiate. That's what I would have done. Because, some actors don't want to come back or have scheduling conflicts and don't want to fly out all the way to New Zealand. Because New Zealand tickets aren't cheap one way. I heard they're like $2,500 one way, $1,500, $2,500 one way. And I would basically sign them like a multi-year contract to come back for additional episodes after their initial season is over, and team ups or whatever. And to double back on the how the cringeworthiness of some things that happen in Megaforce. And are you familiar with Linkara, Jason?
Linkara, no. Give me a little bit of backdrop.
He has a YouTube channel called Atop the Fourth Wall with Bad Comments Burn. But on the other side of his channel, he does a full retrospect of every Power Ranger season that came to pass. Like he did Mighty Morphin all the way up to Beast Morphers. They're all on YouTube. You can just like type it in history of Linkara's history of Power Rangers, and he does a really good detailed reviews of the past seasons. And,
Okay.
and I remember he did with Megaforce, he had like 5 parts, and it was basically over 3 hours long altogether for Megaforce. He was just like straight ripping it apart, like ripping the whole season apart, because they had like glorious opportunities to do stuff like expand the history of the Morphin Grid, or and what I'm about to say next, they had a team up episode gift wrap for them, like the Sentai version for Samurai, not Samurai, Shinkenger versus Ghost Ager. Did you see that? Did you see that movie?
I did, and that was really well done.
Yeah, they could have. That movie was basically gift wrapped to be adapted into the Super Megaforce, or at least Megaforce. And they dropped the ball on that. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Y'all had a team up episode where y'all could basically did mostly ADR, basically voiceovers, gift wrap, handed it to y'all, but y'all didn't want to do it because y'all wanted to shoot new footage of Sentai only teams. Like you didn't see, you didn't notice that.
Well, and I feel they really had the opportunity to like if you've ever watched the parallels between the two, like there were things that you couldn't just explain away. Like I always reference how they had there was a big fight scene you see a lot where the villains basically were Jungle Fury, Mystic Force, white, and Mystic Force Wolf purple, and then the Overdrive, the king for the Overdrive guy, and I can't remember his name. Sentinel Knight. There it goes. Yeah. So they were all duking it out, right? And we never got. So we never. I feel that's where we failed. Like we could have with Megaforce, we could have, the bad guys could have gotten a hold of a morpher, right, and given them the power to tap into the morphing grid. and we could have used a lot more of the footage because that's what we saw. Because that's how I would have done it. Like if with all the footage that was available and all the battles of the back and forth, all you had to do, even if it was an unstable, what's up, sir? Even if it was an unstable balance, tapping into the grid through evil means, we could have gotten to the point where we could have explained why these rangers are here, these bad rangers are here, right? And then we could have, pushed forward with better story arcs, but we didn't. We kind of just, did the monster of the week, and then we had, kind of, we kind of weaved in pieces here and there to try to hopefully pull in the, continuity from the villain side of it. And it didn't make a lot of sense, right? And I think that's what people get so upset about is that we had all this good footage that we basically left on the cutting room floor. And we try to tie in things in like kind of, and I guess maybe that was just Nickelodeon's way of handling it, I guess. I always refer back to like, we were so excited to see Bulkmeyer back in, Samurai, and they gave us like this weird tiny clone of Skull, right? But it didn't match, and I get what they were trying to do. And at the very end, they had Jason Neal come back for one episode for like 2 minutes, and it's like then it comes back to cost, right? How are you going to justify paying a $2,500 ticket if you're there for like 2 minutes of a show and then you go back, right? Like, are you I guess he gets some directing credit, which I didn't know about. Like, I guess the guy Paul and Jason, they've done a lot of like episodes, like directed and been executive producers on a lot of the Power Ranger episodes during that particular run. And stupid fun fact, right? And so I mean, at that point, you're gonna tie people in, but I always push back to where like it's how Saban did business, and Saban still had a big hand in it, and that's the reason I want to see what they're gonna do, and that's the reason I everybody's jumping up and down, but we got a very short episode, or we got another 10 episodes. We have 21 episodes of Dino Fury. And they did that casting call in Brazil trying to look for people for the next iteration, but it's small, right? Normally it's like 3 to 6 months worth of shooting, depending if you're doing half a season or the whole season in one jump. This is only going to be for like 8 weeks of shooting, and it's going to be just this. I feel like it's going to be a filler. I feel like they're going to take, one of the episodes that because if you've watched Sentai, especially the newer Sentai, it's hard. There's a lot of pieces that are hard to watch because it's just the corn. We just don't have the humor doesn't carry over on our side of the fence, right?
Yeah.
And I feel this is my opinion, and we'll see when it happens. But I feel like what they did is Hasbro went through, they sliced and diced all the good pieces that they needed to make this happen. And now they're going to come out with like this small mini series, and that's going to be our bridge gap. And then they're going to have this big 30th anniversary reveal of what they're doing. I think they're holding on to the bait, right? But they need to keep people interested in the meantime because, COVID was a problem. Like you were saying, like we were talking, So that's my opinion. I feel like there's a business plan behind it.
Because COVID ruined a lot. Because I was thinking about it earlier, but I didn't get a chance to say it. For me, they ruined a lot. I would say a lot. They ruined a lot of finales. Like the one off the top of my head, but COVID ruined a lot of finales. Like the top of my head, Supernatural. COVID ruined the finale of Supernatural because because the actual final episode, it felt so, I don't know, like it felt so like it didn't sit well with me. The ending, it didn't sit well, even though it was kind of like a happy ending, but it didn't sit well with me. Like there was no real epilogue or nothing like that. It was just like a montage of Sam going through life with his son, and and like, but and you mean to tell me like there was still crap going on, like like because you saw his son. His son had his. Have you seen the finale? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. No, I have.
seen his son with his with the with the tattoo, so that demons won't possess their bodies and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
I thought like Warrena, I forgot her name, Warrena was the queen of hell or something like that. I thought they had like a truce or something like that since like she became like more of an ally now, instead of an enemy. Like,
The whole Chuck thing is where I feel they went off the rails. Like making God like this tangible person. Like we always danced around it with like, the demons and like even if you gave the king of hell, or the queen of hell or however you wanted to run it, I feel like that's where we kind of fell off the rails a little bit. I do, I do agree with you 100% when you talk because the finale that they had planned. I don't know if you've ever heard the guy who put not Jason. Is it Jason Alk or no?
Justin.
Justin Ackles.
Uh-huh.
So he said that originally the plan was for when he went off to the world after he had that conversation with Bobby on the porch. That was going to be the Roadhouse. And then every single character from the last 15 years who had been a hunter or an ally who had lost their life because they knew these two, Dean and Sam, were going to be in there. Like we were going to get to see the girl, or Jody from the Roadhouse, and we were going to get to see, I can't remember his name, but he was the one who figured it out and the Roadhouse blew up and all that stuff. But all the allies were going to be there.
Asher?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And they were all going to basically like, and then they were going to have the people, Kansas, on stage playing a live version of Carry On My Wayward Son. Which, could you imagine seeing all those people there and then them just, like it fading off to Carry On My Wayward Son being played live, and they just couldn't work out the logistics. Like,
I think I would have cried if that would have happened.
I'm just saying, it would have been something
Well,
else.
Jared Padalecki, he said that they were gonna do that. I remember now. They said like, but they wasn't gonna fly people out to Canada and then house them for 14 days, and then
For one scene.
For one scene, yeah, they wasn't gonna, yeah, like they could have, since they what happened? In Supernatural ended in late 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, late 2020, and they came back in early 2019, and at the beginning of 2020, they had a little mid-season finale, and then they didn't show the final. What was that? 5 episodes in the end of 2020. Like they could have like had additional episodes and stretched it out until 2021 until everyone was vaccinated. So that way they could have like got the finale that they wanted to push out, because the finale we got did not sit well with me at all. If I could be perfectly honest, it did not. And I think Justin Ackles, he didn't like the finale. He didn't.
And see, and then he left, and then like I guess they're gonna do some kind of spin-off show now, right? Like they're gonna do
The prequel.
Yeah, the prequel.
But like you already know what's gonna happen, so what's the point of doing a prequel? I guess it would be nice to put the pieces together, like, oh my god. But we knew like so much stuff when they kept going back to the past. Like Mary was a hunter. Like at the beginning of the episode, like you always thought John Winchester was the main hunter and whatnot.
Right.
But when you go back in time, doggone Mary was the main hunter, and John, he was just there, and he was killed, and Mary made a deal with the demon
and brought him back.
Yeah, and brought everything full circle. And then John, did he ever know that? I don't think he knew that Mary made a deal to bring him back to life.
No, that was the catalyst for her having to explain what had happened. You know, like,
Oh, okay. Because I'm watching Supernatural again on Netflix on my downtime because I'm in between, because I'm trying to do live with you and whatnot to keep content going on my YouTube channel, and I'm too busy trying to write videos and whatnot because I got a lot on my plate. I didn't know that making YouTube videos would be this hard because first you're writing it, then you're recording it, then you're editing it. That's a 3 day that's a 3 day process depending on
right, and
depending on how you
on
feel that day.
and then you're also working 40 hours. You're, being a husband, you're being, a father, you're being a good, uncle slash brother slash, friend, whatever. Like, that's how I get, man. Like, I was just having that conversation because I'm just starting to grow on the social media side where I'm pushing a little more content. I'm about to go live with a rebranded channel on Instagram, that's just straight Power Ranger content. I've got kind of a good hook that I'm going to. Obviously, I'm working with you, and
Yeah.
I'm working with the council, and I'm working with Zero to Hero. So like, it's like just doing that, and then I'm doing the deeds. Like, oh, one of the big things. So like, spoiler alert. Here you go. Big opportunity for us, and also Zero to Hero, where I am going to be doing some, because I'm a DJ on the side when
Uh-huh.
I have time, and one of my things is light and magic that I do. I run wires basically and make sound happen. So Ranger Stop in Orlando, Florida is going to be a big deal, and I have an in for that, and it's going to give us access to a couple of Rangers to do kind of a conversation with, where we're going to be able to have like preset questions, and I'm going to be able to give that content directly to you. I'm basically going to give 5 questions out to you and out for your YouTube channel, 5 questions out to um, Zero to Hero's YouTube channel, and then 5 questions out to me to use for my content on my social media platforms. But it's a really great opportunity.
Oh, okay. Uh, I used to do the whole 40-hour thing. It wasn't for me or my mental health. So my my wife, she managed to because I was in the military.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Yeah. Oh, you. Thanks. But yeah, my wife, she was able to get my VA compensation, and I'm at 70%, and like I have a decent living, able to like pay all my bills, which give me more time. But
Mm-hmm.
being a father and a husband, like I didn't know, like even though I'm not actually putting in 40 hours, it's like I'm putting in full time of like being a father and a husband. And by the time and I review comics too, and I have to read comics to review them. So
Yeah.
and I'm trying to read them at night, but my son, he always runs my iPad dead because the iPad I have now is the I think the 8th or ninth generation, and it's like, and you can like and you can like read it big enough for you can so I can like read the comic all the way in full, because I can't really do it on my phone because like you have to be doing like just like squint in or zoom in or whatever. Like with the iPad, I don't have to zoom in, but my son, he runs my iPad dead, and I'm spending like half my day trying to look for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'm trying to push content out, like I said, and I'm going like because I'm working on my spoiler alert, like I'm working on my what if video and the what if Disney Plus show, the what if video, and the Peacemaker show, because like how my schedule is, like how my videos go, like I do 2 movies, 2 comic books, 2 video games, 2 animes, uh, what was that, and one special video idea that's like um it's like it's kind of like the same, but it's like different. It won't be like formulaic, or it won't be like less formulaic. It'll be like kind of basically just, I can't put it into words. It was like, it's kind of like my very first video. My very first video. It was like Korra. It's titled Korra. It's not a bad avatar. And my other two special video episodes are what I thought of Dino Fury so far, and Power Rangers Beast Morphers. And my other three special video episodes were my Spider-Man No Way Home. And my Spider-Man No Way Home videos of basically reviewing every single Spider-Man movie, the live action ones. Like I did the Spider-Man, the original trilogy, the Sony ones with Andrew Garfield, and then Tom Holland one. That took a lot out of me because I had to push those videos out before Spider-Man No Way Home. I had to have that movie. I had to have the last video out before I went to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. And I did it, and I was like, basically, I'm Spider-Man out for the year. So I took a break after I saw Spider-Man. I took a break all the way up till January, and what else? And I got a new segment coming out called Burst Limit Retrospect. That video is pinned on my page. But yeah, I'm going to like go full in depth of like how Lynn Carr does his videos, go full in depth of TV shows, anime from start to finish. The first one up is Smallville, and I'm almost done with the Smallville video, the script. Basically, I'm almost done with it, and so now I got to spend a couple of hours up here recording, and then a couple of days editing, and then it will be uploaded then. But I'm gonna start like from Smallville 1 through 10. Then after that, I think it's Teen Wolf from season 1 through 6. Then after that is the 2003 Ninja Turtles, Yu Yu Hakusho, and then Black Lightning, and I can't remember the rest. But I'm going to have some impressive content coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm also,
Heck yeah.
And what was I ask you? Would it be a good idea for me to because you see my page, right? Like I split my videos into multiple parts. Would it be cool to do something like outside of my instead of posting the YouTube videos that I post on YouTube on there, do something outside of that, like do something exclusively for TikTok? Would that be good? Or would that like kind of stretch myself too thin on that?
No, I think it. So I started, in my opinion, it's humble and it's mine, but I'll own it. I believe that I've met some really great people. Like the fandom, the content, the people you want to get that information out to, they all reside on TikTok. And then you have, YouTube, where you have the people who drill down and they want like in-depth conversation. They want to hear it, and then sometimes, and then as crazy as it sounds, like one of your podcasts, one of Zero to Heroes podcast I put out there. I literally was in the middle of doing my job. I work in the pharmacy world, and I'm literally listening to the podcast as I'm doing stuff, right? So people need that, and they want to hear it about stuff they care about, which is Power Ranger content in my world, right?
Right.
But your scope is so much bigger than mine, so I think that you could start compartmentalizing that scope to be able to be like, okay, well, I'm going to take a chunk of it and just put it YouTube oriented, or have YouTube be your broad where everything goes, right?
Right.
Doesn't matter. And then you could have, and because, when we get to a certain amount of followers, we can go ahead and put in little categories. Like I always equivocate to this guy. There's this guy on here and he's a college student, and he does Marvel content. But then he started to do another channel that was just dedicated to Power Rangers and not Fortnite. It's a real popular video game, Destiny. So he does Power Ranger and Destiny content on that channel. That's all that channel is about. That's where I think you should take it. Like where you have your page, your main page, where everybody can bridge off and go see YouTube, but then pick one or two topics that's all that page is on YouTube, and then you can have a couple of teasers. But once your fan base moves from your main to that, it kind of shows you what content really, because you're going to find a niche no matter what. That's what TikTok is. It's all about niching, right?
Right.
And that's where I feel that the biggest difference comes from. When you're on YouTube, unfortunately, there's people on YouTube who, like, I have mad respect for what you and Zero to Hero do, because, all the work, effort, and, the push you guys do, and the fact that I can be just a small piece of that to help drive or just make you guys, that's the reason I blast you guys whenever I can. And, like, I want to share this opportunity with you guys because it gives you some unique content to share where we all can grow, because at the end of the day, I want to see you hit, 50,000 people following you. I want to see, same thing for me and same thing for Zero to Hero. So we can make that happen. And it's all about, talking to people and building. I have a couple of unique opportunities where I have that chance to add into that to help everybody else, and that I feel like that's my goal. My goal is to grow people. Like there's this one person, it's Hyperforce. He's making his own lore on Power Rangers. It's amazing. He's building it all from scratch. I give him mad props for everything that he's doing, because it's just beyond amazing. And the fact that he's so passionate about it, and we're talking about it back and forth
Yeah,
about how we want to.
a lot of people send me a lot of they stuff. Like there's just like so much to like, it doesn't even have to be Power Ranger related. They send me like so much stuff. Like I remember, I think I told you the last chat, I don't think so, but one guy, he reached out to me through Instagram saying hey, review my comic. And I was like, okay, what comic it is? Mind you, it was Black Sands Entertainment. So I'm almost through. Well, I am through. I just gotta write the script to that comic. Because the comic is really good. Like it kind of reminds me of me, like of what I did. What I dealt with loss of a best friend, and to try to carry on, and it kind of incorporate into his powers. It's crazy, but it's good though. But
Well, Black Sands they write some really great content.
yeah,
I just started the first. I'm in like the second issue. And I think that it's great that he got that YouTube deal, and or not YouTube, Netflix deal, and now they're making the animated short or whatever.
mm-hmm.
I think that's super great. I believe that everybody, and it falls back to my niche, but, to build on what you're saying, is it's all about, Spider-Man said it in the Spider-Verse, and I always say it when we're talking about Power Rangers. Anyone can wear the helmet, anyone can wear the mask, right?
Right.
And I love seeing, that's the reason I'm so excited that, we have LBGT, representation for the first time in Power Rangers. We're seeing like real dedicated people, the people at Black Sands, making their own comic like a reality, and it's becoming like a thing. And if you're even just a piece of that, a small piece of that, then because you donated, or you're buying their comics, or you're pushing forward on that, then I think you're doing the right thing. I think it's a good. The world's so big, and
Yeah.
we're just a small piece of it, right? Grains in the sand, and if we can just help somebody in that way, and I think that's part of what Ranger Nation is, and I love that it expands on everything.
Oh, one more thing before we wrap up, because I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's chaos downstairs. We was talking about I don't want to reveal too much about what I what I'm writing about my graphic novel. Like, is it like it's like how would I you say you pronounced it like mad, but it's but the J is silent. Like, how would like I put that in the book? How would I put that in the book saying that, okay, this is how you pronounce it? Like, how would I put that in the book? Like, do I put it in a table of contents, or do I put that in a panel?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I
So
want.
okay, I'm sorry. I thought I answered the question and I didn't. So my apologies. So like and this is how so for me, I think it's more like it would be in like it'd be for me it'd be a panel entry, because so you just keep seeing Mad, and then like you get the readers engaged into what Mad is, right? And they're
Yeah,
like, we keep seeing it, but it's spelled wrong, right? And there's this great like there's a pivotal scene moment and it will fit in, and this is how I see it play out. Um, you know, they're bringing somebody and they're like, we're just so mad, I hate Mad, raw, and then you just have some guy go, but that has a J in it, and then you just have the main character or the main protagonist or the person who's running the panel. Anyways, you have them turn back and they're like, the J is silent, right? And so you've let it run this long with not explaining it, and then in a panel or two, you're just like, boom, and you just hook somebody, and they're like, ha. And now it makes sense, right? Like you could kind of build it into like a funny thing, and you could even have it not as a trope, but just once in a while sprinkled in through a panel entry. I don't think it has, because most people who don't know, and you're trying to build that base, right? And you want to
yeah,
get them intrigued, and it's for me, you want something that's catchy, that's easy to say, just like as easy as now people use MMPR, right? Like if you know,
yeah.
and so having Mad, and then I could just see somebody turn around and being like, the J is silent, like it's a legitimate, it's a hook, right? It's something that's catchy, it's fun, and that's where I am on that. I believe it should be in a panel.
Okay, all right. So, okay, now I got a better understanding since you're talking, saying it out loud. Because I don't think I understood it when you was you know writing, typing it up, which could be, because sometimes you gotta actually hear the person talking to find out like what's going on. But I'm going, yeah. Um, what was I about to say? I got it all down. Like my wife told me to dial back on the abilities, the abilities a little bit as far as the main character goes. And okay, I was like, okay, yeah, I could take this out. And
I'm telling you, send me the rough draft, man. I'd be happy. I got two people that are doing short stories. One's for Amazon, one's trying to make it on his own, right? He's just writing books. He
oh, I thought
brought some stuff.
I thought you were gonna say, oh, I got two PhDs. I was like, oh, I was like, why you didn't say that earlier? I was like, okay, so go ahead.
No, I've got two people that they've reached. They're very creative, like you are. You're very creative. I think that you have some really great creative juices around you. And I always say iron sharpens iron. Put you
Hmm.
around people who sharpen you. Um, and from an outsider's perspective, I'm excited. I want to read. I just want to read a little bit of it, so that way, I made this great, because I made this small piece, right? Because I'm an outsider and I was looking in on his writing, and I was saying from a reader's perspective, this doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't want to give any spoilers away because
Okay,
he's
okay,
doing
yeah,
his
yeah.
thing.
Hey, I'm all
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, I'm good. I'm cool with that. I just, yeah, like I'm gonna get back on it later because I just got so much to do, or so much I want to do now. So I kind of have the time. I got a lot of comics to read. I got a lot of like videos to make, and then try to do the rough draft, and then it just gets kind of crazy, and I end up forgetting. I was like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do today? Maybe I should just like take. I be trying to take a day to do. Okay, I'm gonna take a day to do this, take a day to do that, and then I got games that I gotta finish too. Like, but hey, you gotta get you a PS. Like, you gotta get your PS5 on, cause
Oh, I was jealous of you.
it's better. It's better than I expected. Like, I can incorporate my Apple Music on there. You could actually have your Apple Music playing while you're playing the game. And I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy game. Um, and
A lot of good little Easter eggs in that.
and I have it. I need to finish the Devil May Cry remake that came out in 2014. I haven't finished that yet. What else? I gotta play the Horizon Dawn Zero and Horizon Forbidden West. I ain't even tapped the surface of the first game, and I bought the second game. Like, I don't know. It's weird, but
That's so I'll share it with you, and I'm only going to share it with you on this channel, and I'm going to tell you right now, one thing I'm doing is, I don't know if you remember back in the day, but you remember StarCraft, right? And then
a little bit.
So StarCraft, they did a remastered version that just came out, and I'm in the process of playing the remastered, and the cut scenes are so good. And I've been bouncing around the idea of, like, kind of going over and making it a little bit of a series to some of the changes that they did, because they also did like a cartoon thing, which is neat. And that's gonna be my first
YouTube video. That's gonna be your first video.
I have that and a Power Ranger content video that I've been working on, and that's part of what I'm gonna spring after the con happens. So I'll have the PC world, and I'll have the Power Ranger world. That's what don't laugh at me, but I'm still sitting with a PS3, right? Like, I have the new Xbox, but but PS3 is the best I've done recently, because I've just been so busy doing so many other things. It was like, well, I'll wait till after, and so PS5 is the next step for me. I'm gonna jump a generation.
Jump about two generations over. Well, it's
right.
Generations of one. Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off and head on downstairs, see what's going on, because because I almost pushed it back because my father came over. I think he's still downstairs, and then from earlier, brother coming in here. My brother's kept here and whatnot, so I'm going to see what's going on downstairs. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all next time. You take care, brother.
And thank you. I'll see you next month, and may the power protect everyone. Huh?
Hey, go ahead.